The Cars 3 teaser trailer dropped with the tagline, "From this moment, everything will change."
Hey, no cameras! Get out of here!
Well, everything is about to change because we are here to hop off course and set the record straight about Lightning McQueen. No more hanging back. Let's shift this video into high gear and get into the truth. Before we hit the open road, remember to pump the brakes and click the CBR subscribe button. Otherwise, you may speed by and miss all our new videos.
I'll see you at the finish line, buddy!
Not if I see you first!
McQueen was first choice for lead car. It is hard to imagine Pixar's car franchise without Lightning McQueen as the lead vehicle of the pack. The world's fastest race car this side of the tracks, Lightning has been in the driver's seat for the last 2 Cars films. McQueen will also be in the lead in the soon-to-be-released 3rd Cars film in the franchise when it premieres on June 16th. However, it wasn't always going to be the case that Lightning McQueen would be the main car on the road. The franchise could have taken a different road entirely if Pixar decided to follow its original character and storyline path. The original concept of the film revolved around a 4- and 3-wheeled electric car rather than American speedster like McQueen. The inspiration for this concept came from Denmark, where it was difficult to manufacture regular-sized 4-wheeled vehicles because of the size of the country. Manufacturers got the idea to make cars with 3 wheels, which would be a fraction of the size, that only needs 1 driver and can run on electricity and not gas. This car would be known as the Yellow Car, which also could have been the alternative title for the original Cars film. We all know which road Pixar ended up taking, and Lightning McQueen will be hitting the road again soon.
I knowed I made a good choice.
And what?
My best friend.
He isn't good at making friends. When we first met Lightning McQueen in 2006 with the release of the first film, he was a race car with a one-track mind, winning. He wasn't too interested in making new friends, pulling into the rest stop for a break, or slowing down to take in a few sights along the way. Number 95 leads a fast-paced life that doesn't leave much room for anyone or anything else, and McQueen seems fine with that. We don't think it would be unfair to say that at times he could be arrogant, cocky, and selfish. We all remember what happened when McQueen didn't listen and wouldn't stop to get his tires changed in the first Cars movie. He blew that race. It's easy to think of McQueen as a loner, nothing to keep him back from hitting the open road. When he opens himself up to the journey and not the race, McQueen does change. He can open himself up to learn from his mistakes and, most importantly, make friends. He becomes close to Doc Hudson. He forms a special relationship with Sally. He gains a new best friend in his tow truck buddy Mater. McQueen is now open to making new friends, like in Cars 3 when he meets Cruz Ramirez, who helps him on his next journey.
Got it. And remember, it's in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Get out of here. All right, then.
He goes it alone in Cars 3. We know in Cars 3, Lightning McQueen experiences a horrific, potentially career-ending crash during a race. It's the kind of tragedy that makes you question everything and sends McQueen looking for answers inside of himself. That's not the kind of journey he's used to. We've seen Lightning hit the open roads and Route 66. Racing is what he was made to do, but off the racetrack isn't his strongest suit. In Cars 3, Lightning McQueen is going to have a new companion to help guide him. His new friend is Cruz Ramirez. She's described as energetic and fun. As a trainer on McQueen's team, she's going to help guide him back on track. She'll have to tell him some hard truths and teach him some lessons. McQueen will have to dig deep, but at least he won't have to travel the road alone. Well-known female actress, writer, and comedian Cristela Alonzo, who garnered attention for her self-titled comedy show, as well as being a frequent guest host on the talk show The View, will be McQueen's new mentor. Cruz Ramirez. Alonzo's going to bring a no-nonsense attitude to McQueen's rehabilitation and comeback to help give him a push back onto the winning track.
Guys, a little too much chatter. Let's keep this line clear.
McQueen is all fun and games. When you think of Pixar films, what words come to mind? Lighthearted, family-friendly, humor, fun? What about thoughtful and reflective? When it comes to the previous 2 Cars films, Pixar has maintained a similar tone and attitude in the films. There's a lot of joking, laughter, high energy, and adventure, mixed with a few life lessons to be learned along the way. It's the winning formula Pixar fans have come to know and love. What if we told you that in Cars 3, Pixar is throwing out the old and coming in with the new? Like Lightning McQueen being tested and ousted by rookie race car Jackson Storm. The film itself is mirroring the new plot. This latest version of McQueen is not going to be the same one audiences saw in the first 2 films. Yes, we are still going to get flashes of our speed-loving race car, but Cars 3 and number 95 are going to have a darker tone. McQueen's crash is to date the worst we've seen. As the film's trailer says, it changes everything. McQueen is no longer a young car without a care in the world. This older, hurt version must deal with what it means to get older and fail. How to walk away from the thing you love most in the world.
Remember, best behavior.
You got it, buddy. Hey, what's that?
Hey, McQueen!
Lightning McQueen equals Alexander McQueen. One of the most famous McQueens is the real-world Alexander McQueen. Alexander McQueen was a British fashion designer known for his elaborate pieces of clothing and famous clients. Given how famous Alexander was across the globe and how unique his last name was, it's easy to believe that Lightning McQueen is a reference to Alexander. However, it is not true that the race car and the fashion king have anything in common. There are two other real-life McQueens that served as inspiration for Lightning McQueen. The first source of inspiration for the Roadster is Glenn McQueen. Glenn was an animator at Pixar until 2002 when he passed away. He worked on earlier films such as Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and Monsters, Inc. As a way of showing their affection and respects for the late animator, they borrowed Glenn's last name for the film. The second individual to rub off on the creators of the Cars franchise is Steve McQueen. Steve was an American actor and personality known for being suave, cool, and the anti-hero. Steve was also a major car enthusiast, particularly race cars. Early in his life, he considered becoming a professional race car driver, but instead became an actor who did a lot of his own stunts.
You keep talking to yourself. People think you're crazy.
Thanks for the tip.
What? I wasn't talking to you.
Lightning McQueen is one of a kind. A young, savvy, hotshot professional is blazing trails. He isn't terribly liked by his colleagues and not exactly making friends, but he doesn't really care because he's at the top of his game and that's all that matters. He needs to travel across the country to meet his destiny and fame. Along the way, he ends up in some middle-of-the-nowhere town where he causes an accident. He goes before a judge and required to do some community service where the locals don't exactly like the big city kid either. Eventually he makes friends, falls in love, and helps the town, but still goes away to seek out his dream. He succeeds, but misses the small town. He returns happy and snags his lady in the process. Now you're saying to yourself, but we know the whole plot to Cars. Why are you telling us this? Well, what if we told you this isn't the plot to Cars? This is the plot to the 1991 Michael J. Fox film Doc Hollywood. Michael J. Fox wasn't a car in that movie, but you get the picture. Lightning McQueen and Michael J. Fox have a lot more in common than you thought, with similar plot lines and characteristics. It's like Doc Hollywood is Lightning McQueen's real-life counterpart.
Huh, that's cute. She had one of those made up for all the racers?
No.
Okay.
Go, McQueen.
So getting beat tomorrow.
McQueen can't change. You know the old saying, you can't teach an old car new tricks? McQueen has been the leader of the pack for the last 10 years. When he squealed onto the scene in 2006 trying to win the Piston Cup Championship against Strip the King Weathers and Chick Hicks, it ended in a three-way tie. What really revs up McQueen's engine? McQueen wants to win and be the first rookie to win the Piston Cup. That would be a huge honor for the newcomer. Fast forward to Cars 3 and it appears that McQueen still has winning on his mind. Even though he's a four-time Piston Cup champion by now, it still doesn't seem to be enough, and McQueen keeps pushing himself to the point that he endures a potential career-ending crash out on the speedway. It takes him out of the race and may have to hang up his racing tires forever. We all know how stubborn Lightning McQueen can be, so it comes as a surprise to everyone that we learn McQueen takes advice from a new friend, Cruz Ramirez, to help get him back on track. McQueen is listening. He's following directions. He understands he needs to adapt in order to get back to leading the pack.
Oh, hey, McQueen. That must be really embarrassing, but I wouldn't worry about it because I didn't do it.
Lightning McQueen is all made up. Pixar is one of the most celebrated production companies of all time. Over the last few decades, the creative team has raised the bar with each new film. The creative teams take time, effort, and attention to detail very seriously while the film is being made. Pixar is known for its rigorous research and inspiration for its characters and storylines. In a film set in a fictional world with anthropomorphic cars, it's easy to think that the characters and plot were completely original. The last time you got into a car, did it talk to you? Or its headlights like a set of eyes? No, you didn't think so. We are here to set the record straight. Lightning McQueen, though a fictional character, has plenty of real-world inspiration that went into his development off-screen. We all know that in the original Cars movie, McQueen speeds on the scene with a bit of an attitude. He doesn't really care much for other cars, yet we still like him for some reason. It's hard to put into words, and the creators of Cars felt the same way. They decided to use real-world athletes like Charles Barkley, Joe Namath, and Muhammad Ali as inspiration for Lightning McQueen. What did they have in common? All were top in their sport, but had problems playing nice with others.
Ah! No, not me! No, you rock!
Doc, and you know that.
McQueen is the fastest car around. Number 95 is one of the fastest cars on the road. He isn't meant for a leisurely drive up the countryside to look at foliage and stop and smell the roses. He is meant to zoom past his opponent so fast they must blink twice because they can only see a blur. With the release of Cars 3 in June, everything we thought we knew about Lightning McQueen is about to change. McQueen isn't the fastest car on the block anymore. Up-and-comer Jackson Storm, who is voiced by Armie Hammer, replaces McQueen as the fastest race car on the planet. Yes, McQueen is still a fast car, there's no doubt about that, but his reign at the top comes to an end with rookie Storm rolls onto the scene. McQueen was designed for speed and racing, but Jackson Storm takes it to the next level. Storm has a sleek frame, shaped to increase aerodynamics and resistance to wind. He can go from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds flat. His top speed is 214 miles per hour, which is more than McQueen's 210. Storm has a V8 engine that can get up to 850 horsepower, while McQueen tops out at 750 horsepower. Jackson Storm is going to give Lightning McQueen some wind burn when he leaves him in the dust.
This is not good for my image.
They did give you your big break.
McQueen is unstoppable. If there's one other thing that race car Lightning McQueen knows how to do besides going fast, it is how to win. When we catch up with number 95 in Cars 2, McQueen has won 4 separate Piston Cup championships. With that many wins, it's safe to say McQueen is miles ahead of the other racers. It takes a great deal of practice, dedication, and talent to be able to take home the trophy so many times. Do you think you'd have what it takes to win as much as McQueen? As much as he may win, it also means that he's racing against up-and-coming rookies every year. Newer, faster models are always debuting on the speedway and trying to take the Piston Cup away from McQueen. In Cars 3, a new challenger, Jackson Storm, finally succeeds in beating McQueen. It isn't easy to lead the pack all these years, and then suddenly, without warning, you find yourself trailing behind. You're jockeying to make your way back to the front of the line, but finding you just don't have the gas in you like you used to. Jackson Storm stops Lightning McQueen in his tracks and forces him to turn it into high gear to reclaim his place in the front of the line.
Signore, please. Excuse me.
No, where are you going?
Pump the brakes before you pass this video by and zoom on to the next one. What do you think? Do you view Lightning McQueen differently now that we uncovered his lies? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for checking out the video, and before you go, don't forget to hit the like to show your love. And subscribe if you haven't already to catch even more entertaining videos from CBR.